wish everybody a very happy Valentine's Day. Sunday morning, Valentine's Day. So I thought let me look for some very nice quotation on women. And I picked up the book of quotation from my shelf. And while searching, I came to a heading called Women. And I'm sharing what I read and my views on that too on a day of Valentine's Day. 16 of the first 21 quotations, it tore women down. Six of those 16 suggested that she is a good deal more attractive when she keeps her mouth shut. Just imagine. There's a book of quotation. It is thy place, woman, to hold thy peace and keep within doors, says Aeschylus back in the 5th century before Christ, BC. Just imagine. Someone says when a woman inclines to learning, there is usually something wrong with her sex apparatus. Who says? Nietzsche, a great French philosopher a century ago. From the moment women are old enough to give a thought to love, they are constantly told men can't stand knowledge. They cannot stand knowledgeable women, they say. Men can't stand having a woman disagree with them. And since any woman would rather be loved than be right, she plays safe and dumb. That's why on the Valentine's Day, I feel the best advice one can give to ladies or women that females should not play dumb. And that's going to be the title of my talk today. So many surveys taken on college campuses reveal that almost half of the women students play dumb when they want to interest a man. An unusually pretty college girl I know is always in a panic before each new a date, for fear the man will not find out she is on the dean's list. And when I asked about what she is afraid of, she looked at me pityingly. I don't want to scare him off, she says. What do you talk about then? She grinned, but wryly, on how wonderful he is. If I can just get him talking, we are all right. Does it have to be this way? My dear friend, millions of women today have gone to college. At least one wife out of three is a wage earner. Thousands of women who call themselves just housewife, they manage the family finances, direct charity, and takes part in the local politics, belong to the various clubs, and go to their theaters and concerns on their own. Women may even be somewhat ahead of men culturally, because thanks to men, they have more time to spend on culture, art, to make a deliberate effort to conceal all the information, ideas, and experience they have acquired seems a terrible waste. I'm not suggesting that women should be above wanting to be attractive to men, but is this really the best way to do it? How can you charm any man, or even get out to know him when you're knocking yourself out not to be yourself? Best advice on the Valentine's Day I can give to all the ladies or women, that the females, all ladies, they should not play dumb, and they just be themselves. Drop off all kinds of fears. Of course, men have hungry egos. They probably do not do need to feel superior to women, but they so they obviously are superior in many ways. They have made a comfortable country for us to live in. It's a men. There's a woman. They're saying that these men have made this country so comfortable for them to live in. The men make discoveries and write books and produce plays and movies, all for the women's enjoyment. If any of the men feel that for a woman to know more than they do on a subject is close to stealing their pants, it's high time. Women help them find out that this isn't true emancipation. Some experts say that the sight of a knowledgeable woman takes a millions of men back to those early days when mother knew everything. But I suspect that what this happened, it is the aggressive way she flaunts her knowledge that frightens men. There are ways to be aggressive without being horrid, my friends. I was fascinated in Delhi in one of the uh, South Delhi posh restaurant in Friends Colony. When I see these all these women in a resort in last summer, they couldn't have acted more aggressively, garrulous, and then the men they were with couldn't have acted more enthralled. Every woman I watched did much the same thing. They leaned forward, looking the man straight in the face, and opened her eyes wide in what was almost a caricature of absorption. But the general atmosphere of unafraid communications was enchanting. Sometimes they were obviously arguing some point, but not with hostility, just because it was simply a fun. There is nothing wrong with the wanting to make a point, but there is a lot wrong in being, I say, uh, you know, fighting and anxious about it. Just it should be normal. Somebody summed up to me an adage about catching more files with molasses than vinegar. We might as well face it, my friend. Always, and it always will be a battle of sexes. Men and women cannot help trying to one up each other. It probably goes back to when the first man dragged the first woman off the hair, and the first woman found ways to make him struck ground and help her bring up the children. Ultimately, my friend, today in the modern days, I feel today the battle is more fiercer than ever, with a woman, with women meeting men on so many of his own grounds. Men are bound to be confused, but by not being the possessions we have to about her. It is as if a nice, cozy fur they are used to having warm their feet and suddenly got up to the floor and said, "Talk to me." The fact is that when the average man meets an intelligent woman who considers herself his equal, fur is aptly apt to fly. But can man survive only uh, if the woman just says yes eternally? I don't think so. I don't believe it even. People grow through meeting challenges, and I'm sure women can find ways of challenging men, so that it can be fun for both of them. So my finest advice in the Valentine's Day to the ladies and to women and female is that the female should not play dumb ever. Happy Valentine's Day once again. Thank you very much.